Hi, everyone. Nice meeting you. It's the second time I'm here. Thank you for the organizers. After all these statistics, I'll show you a few pictures, actually. So my name is Maximilian Zielinski. I'm an architect, 17 years now with Foster & Partners in London, and I had the privilege to work on some of these buildings, on Bloomberg headquarters in London, or the Apple Park in Cupertino. And I think you're quite familiar with what we do. Part of that success is due to our team, and we are a big team. We're now 2,500 people. Part of us architects, that's me, tiny in the picture, but more than half of them are other specialists that all contribute to the projects that you'll see, whether you appoint us to do it or not, actually. And I was talking yesterday, we've been blessed to work all around the world, and these are some of the projects I've been involved with in almost all continents, in Australia, in Melbourne, in Sydney, in Asia, in China, in Hong Kong, and other places. Also, you'll see Saudi Arabia, many projects. I'll talk about a few of them shortly. Europe, we worked with Apple at doing their Battersea headquarters, mega office places, but also other places, a bit unknown, like projects in Romania more recently, Eastern Europe, and other. In the US, we worked on the East Coast with Related, again with Apple and other companies, all built, and also on the West Coast. So I feel privileged to have seen and contributed to all of those. But I'll talk to you about two projects today that have maybe an unexpected correlation, and you'll see why. So Apple Park is a project that we started in 2008. Steve Jobs said, I think we have the chance to build the best office building in the world. And 2017, when it was finished, this was the building. And I think we managed to do so, at least for our client. Santa Clara was this valley of orchards, of fruit trees, and if you see an overlay of the side boundary and the building, the circle, it was right in the middle of that. When we found it, however, it was Hewlett-Packard's office, 17 buildings, typical American floor plates with a sea of car parks around. So when we left it, we brought it back to the, original Californian landscape and the orchards. We managed to save 95% of the materials of the buildings that were existing, which is unusual because they were never planned to be repurposed or reused. And we brought in 4 times as much, or we quadrupled the amount of green space available on site. Therefore, the name Apple Park. We've done hundreds of models to test this, to add trees, to check the landscape, drawings, and Apple appointed Dave Muffley, the arborist, and very soon we started building an enormous nursery with almost 9,000 or over 9,000 mature trees. So that day one, when this project opened, it became this. So this is 2017, first day when people started moving in, it already was mature. You can see the olive trees. And this is another quote from Steve saying that apricots were his favorite trees. And unfortunately, he didn't see this completed, but in the first year, we had fruits hanging off these trees. Natural ventilation was important. You've seen the presentation yesterday as well. We managed to do 70% of the ventilation of the building through that. And it took a while to convince the people, but it makes such a difference for the employees. Air comes through the facade and gets extracted through stack effect, through that central part. It's a LEED Platinum building, so very ambitious, does 100% of its energy through renewables, on the roof and also outside. This is a tiny bit of the project team, because construction was such an important task. We did 100% service, we did everything. And we developed every component of material, concrete, with tolerance of millimeters in doing enormous pieces of concrete with a terrazzo finish. The biggest pieces of glass, curved glass, 15 meters long, 3 meters wide, that creates that spectacular facade. And this is the entrance to the restaurant. It opens 60 meters, so it's basically this space that you see here. to let people enjoy the Californian weather. 3,000 people can eat at the same time. And this is the only thing that separates employees from the landscape, from this mature landscape and the hills in the background, is those tiny silicon joints that are 1.5, 2 inches wide. It's one of the projects where we did everything, from door handles to furniture, and we spent a lot of time developing it. This is what ended up being the so-called Max table. It's one of their conference room tables, and these are the legs that we were studying with Joni Ives. This is the Steve Jobs Theater. It's where they have their events. It's the pavilion on top of the landscape. It's an oversailing roof, a carbon fiber roof, 50 meters in diameter, that rests on the glass, nothing else. The glass supports it. And imagine it's an earthquake zone, yeah, San Andreas fault, all of that. Sprinklers and electricity go through those joints. If you do something like this in university, you fail probably, because people don't think it's possible. And if you go down, there's hidden underneath it, it's a 1,000 people auditorium where they can have their launch, where they launch their products if you follow them. I'll leave you with a little film to capture some of these key moments of the project, and then I'll continue. So 2017, this building ended, and I was also a young partner there. What was next? And I think this is where the parallel comes in. We received a document, it was a competition back then, and we headed up to Saudi Arabia. All of these are my photos from the first visit. It was myself and my colleague who was leading the Abu Dhabi office, who headed out to explore the Red Sea. And it was incredible. It was so breathtaking that we came back with this amount of experiences, photography, and this feeling that you almost felt you're the first person walking on that part of the earth, which I'm sure most of you here would have experienced. The nature was pristine, the landscape, all of it. And it inspired us. We started looking at the entire area of the Red Sea, creating master plans. Where would you build first? How would you activate this touristic destination? And years later, this is a couple of years back, Southern Dunes, Six Senses opened up. It's our first resort there, and there's many, many others coming, and I'll give you a glimpse of that. Sorry for the big face. It's to show that we actually went on site to select the location for this resort in the middle of an enormous area where the mountains meet the dunes. It was, and it is spectacular. What's also special about it, with a bit of help, nature can thrive in this place, and we took that as an opportunity. The Six Senses Resort has 80 keys, 40 villas, and 40 hotel rooms. And this is your first approach. You are welcomed by this roof that protects you. You are welcomed by nature. Yeah? People can enjoy the space, the outdoor space. Most of the activities are around this garden, restaurants, entertainment, or within that space. And the parameters were quite clear. We wanted to create comfort within this space, but more so, we had to leave enough light through these petals so that the landscape and the sun comes through so the landscape can thrive. So it was a very fine mix of controlling the parameters. There's also beautiful dialogue between the natural shade and the one we're creating through what we think are these art pieces. They change through the day. The light is never the same when the sun hits them and the shadow comes on the ground. They're natural textures, rope, timber, warm colors. Yeah, we're very proud of this one. Again, like Apple, worked from day one till completion, and it's such a satisfaction to see projects finished. Umahat is our second finished project. It's the Ritz-Carlton Reserve. It's those two islands and the necklace that combines those two. It's a very sensitive area. It's in the middle of the Red Sea Lagoon. It's 30 kilometers from the coastline. And if you forget a screwdriver, you have to take a 1-hour boat trip back and forth. So prefabrication became key for it, but also due to the sensitiveness of the environment. We wanted to make objects that can be removed later. So these are the pods, these are the villas from 1 to 4 bedroom ones. We fabricated them off-site with the help of Blumer Lehmann in Switzerland, and they were brought to site as a kit of parts and assembled very quickly. There's beach ones, over water villas, and this is the necklace that sits between the two islands, actually trying to limit how much we touch of those two islands. In the center, there's the amenities, so breakfast room amenities that and roofs that protect you from the environments. Again, natural materials. And the shells that sit on the beach themselves are low-key, and this is something that you'll see again and again on the Red Sea. It's trying to blend in with what's there and have a minimal impact. Because we're in Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo comes here quite often. We've seen him a few times, enjoying the villas. And there's more projects coming up. Yeah, we've got Shura, an entire island, and Lahek that was recently announced by the Red Sea. Shura, on the left-hand side, is predominantly hotels. There's 12 hotels. We designed all of them at the same time. Different operators, extreme challenge to deal with it, but we managed, and it's going to open early next year, if not sooner. And on the other side is Lahek, which is a predominantly residential island, villas, apartments, and a couple of hotels. Yeah, we've worked with all of these operators at the same time, and more actually, to create this unified vision of coral bloom, as we call it, the island. Each of these different colors is a different hotel. Inspired by the colors, the richness of the underwater corals, which we've visited, we've seen, and we've taken as inspiration. They're all extremely low structures, 1, maximum 2 stories. I mean, the exception would be 2 stories, but that more than 95% have views and direct access to the beaches. And the first to be built is the golf clubhouse. This is already open. People can go visit, play around, and the rest will follow shortly. The central is the Coral Village, as we call it, is a larger hotel. It goes up to 37 meters in elevation. It creates a hill where you can enjoy the entire lagoon. Yeah, shaded streets, promenades, etc. And then finally, and this is not because we don't have enough inspiration, we came back to the circle for Lahek, but it's a lot larger than the one at Apple. Apple was 400 meters diameter. This is 800 meters diameter. The main reason for it is not aesthetics. It's actually to create this lagoon inside that is protected for children and for guests to enjoy this pristine water. Yeah, they're now up for sale, apartments facing the views out. These have a few stories, all timber-clad, and a whole range of villas that will be up for sale. Now, we didn't work only with Red Sea, and I wanted to thank all our other clients in Saudi Arabia. So since we've been working, and I've been involved in quite a lot of these, actually, and there's only a few of our clients, and many projects that are undergoing there right now that we're involved with, yeah, from airports to master plans to resorts. Thank you very much, and if you're curious to find out more, come and speak with me.